Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm back this time with more Transformers, more Studio Series 86 goodness. I'm very excited that I now finally have Swoop in the collection here. Very awesome. I got this via Big Bad Toy Store, so definitely looking forward to opening it. Just probably got this about 2 or 3 days ago as of this video. Awesome artwork here on the side. No plastic. You do get a window there, which is no plastic. More artwork here of Swoop in action, and on the back, of course, you do get your figure in his alt mode, robot mode, and of course, this being a Studio Series figure, you do get a background. So definitely looking forward to this one. This is the last one I was waiting on, so I can complete the whole Dinobot team, which is pretty awesome. So let's go on. Here we go, guys. Swoop out of the box, and he looks awesome. What do you get in there? Of course, you get your instructions. Probably a good idea to take a look at them. Transformation's not too complicated, but hey, you get those, so have a look at them. You also do get your background. This is the attack on Autobot City, I believe, which we've gotten with all the other Dinobots and Studio Series figures from the 86 movie. This is really cool. It's a nice size, so if you wanted to have Swoop here right in front of it, you can. So that's really cool. We'll move that out of the way. We have Swoop standing there. Accessories wise, you get two swords. So you get the sword he's holding here, and it's all red plastic. Some nice little detail there, like the handle, little line work. Really cool. And then you also get this other sword, this is technically Grimlock's sword. So if you have Grimlock and you want to display him with a sword, Swoop comes with it. So this is again really cool that they decided to include this. It would have been nice if they included this with Grimlock from the get-go, but hey, here we are. So again, that's really cool. In the box, of course, other than this awesome figure here, I'm gonna call them these rocket thingies on his wings, come separate, so these can come off. You can take them off for the transformation. They're on a peg, but the tips here are separate pieces, so they're included in a little tissue paper in the back of the box. So just make sure you get them out of there before throwing anything out. And as I said, this is a nice gold tip there, a little bit softer plastics, and that goes is two separate pieces. But the paint's done really well here on these pieces, and he can also, the instructions do tell you he can hold these as guns if you want him to. Me personally, I'm gonna have these stuck here on the back like so. Now onto this guy, and I gotta say, extremely happy. This guy's awesome. To get, I guess, any kind of nitpicks just out of the way, the first thing that kind of stood out to me was just the arms here. I recently did a review video on Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Megatron, and that figure had covers, had flip out covers to cover the hollowness like this guy does. So a bit taken aback by the fact that they gave us those nice little covers on that figure, but on this one, unfortunately, you get hollow forearms, which I think at this price point would have been nice if they included them. Now, they do get covered up during the transformation because you can put the hands in there. But in robot mode, which is how I tend to display all my figures, if you do display this guy like this, you're going to have that unsightly gap there. But that is pretty much the extent of any kind of complaints that I have on this guy. Now, there is some hollowness back here, but again, because I tend to display most of my robots facing forward, this back portion here doesn't really bother me much. But onto the good things is we finally have Swoop. If you have the other 4 Dinobots, then you, like me, are now complete and you have the whole set. This one's been a long time coming. I think this guy was on various listings or internet forums or whatever have you as coming soon, and where are the pictures, well, here he is, and he looks awesome. Definitely looks the part. I would say probably one of the smaller Dinobots, but still a nice good size. All the other ones have been a bit more chunky and substantial looking. This guy kind of fits his alt mode of pterodactyl or pterodon, whatever he is, but he looks really cool. Starting up here with the head, you've got this nice red plastic there at the crest. Really cool. The expression is a very neutral expression, I would say, but it fits his character really well, and you could turn the head fully around. Then we move on to one of my favorite parts, which is the whole chest area. Very Seeker-like with, I know the Seekers have like the cockpit. In this case, this is his alt mode head, but I love this nice gold material color they've included here. This is a nice sturdy plastic with the Autobot insignia. Of course, this is the head, so you guys can see the eyes there, and I love the line work that they've added. The blue chest and torso and waist sections, love them. It's a really nice bright blue. These nice red accents here are done really well, and again, you got a lot of line work and panel work here, so not plain looking at all, and he looks really nice. Then moving on down here to the legs, and of course you could see the Dino or his alt mode little legs here sort of hanging down, but again, they look really cool. You guys could see here the gold accents here, and then you got the little gold on the claws, which are essentially the knees in this mode. And then moving on down, you've got your gray with your reds and blacks and the little details that they've added there. This is a really well done figure in my book. Very nice to hold in hand. Yeah, then moving on down here, you got your nice big feet, which fit this guy really well. And then as we move back a bit here, you can see his arms. Again, gray plastic, but again, they've managed to add a lot of little gribbling and details, circles, line works. So it's not plain by any means. Then you've got those awesome wings in the back, giving them a bit of a Seeker kind of look. You could see them better here. They're folded in because that's again part of the transformation, but if you wanted to, you could give him a wider look by expanding the wings. Personally, I will be displaying mine like this, and that looks really cool. And the wings they're in a hinge, so you can display them like so, or spread them out more, so that's really cool. And again, the wings have some nice detail to them in that gray, you got little circles and wheels and gears and what have you. And then the same thing on the back here. It's a lot of line work, so it's definitely not plain by any means. Here on the back, you can see the more of the blue back section. No issues for me. And then again, continuing on back, like I said, is you do have some hollowness here. This doesn't bother me too much, at least not as much as the forearms do, but no issues here with the back. This guy stands and plays really well, so really, really cool. Very happy to have this one in the collection. And as you guys saw earlier, he can definitely hold his sword, but he can also hold Grimlock's sword if you wanted him to double wield his swords there. He looks really awesome. As far as the articulation, his head here, you can move this completely around. He can look up, not much. Look down, not really too much there. The arms fully extended out. You can rotate these at the bicep. You can also rotate them here on the shoulder, so you can do that. You've got your elbows here about 90 degree. Your hands are stuck and fixed in place, so you can't really, you can rotate them just a bit in one direction, actually full range, but the fingers are not articulated, so you're kind of just stuck with that fist. You can move these in, but that's part of the transformation if you wanted to. You've got some waist action here as well, so you can turn the waist, but the head here gets in the way, so it's a bit limited, but I think I think it's workable in my opinion. You can kick about that much, kick back about that much, and you got a bit of a ratcheting effect there on those legs. You can split about that much. And you've also got the upper leg thigh joint here that you can use. Knees, some nice ratcheting there, and it's like it's part of the transformation that they bend this much back, but that is really cool. You know, if you're going to display this guy on some kind of flight stand in robot mode, I think he's going to have some very dynamic action poses. And then you do get your ankle articulation here, quite a bit actually, about that much, so there is quite a lot. And then the feet here, you can angle these down. That's part of the transformation again, but it's just one additional point of movement that you could do with this guy. But overall, I think you'll be able to put him in some really nice poses. I think he'll look great, especially, you know, on a flight stand, even in robot mode here. I think he'll look really cool. Again, it's so awesome to be able to have a full set and to have this huge version of Swoop here. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Next, we'll go through the transformation, and I'll see if I could do this. I've only transformed this guy once so far, but let's see what we can do. So first things first is the arms. You're going to take these fists and fold them in place like so. Same thing here. Then you're gonna take these, and the wings are supposed to clip in place, so you'll see there's sections here and here that go attached to the back of the arms. So essentially they're supposed to sit and tab in place like so. They don't tab in per se, they kind of, at least on my copy, they kind of just sit in place. They don't tab in as hard as they should, in my opinion, but it's nothing again too terrible. Next thing to do here is undo this section. It's just this upper section of the head. You're gonna fold this down, and then you're gonna take this head here and angle it down like so, and then you're gonna take this and just close it back up. It'll pop back in place. Then you could take this whole head and swing it like so. Once you do that, he looks funny with the head like that. So let's move the camera here. So you're going to angle these parts of the chest out, so then that gives you the ability to move the head all the way up like so. Then you're going to take this blue section here and just angle it down like that. Now the interesting thing comes in here is these chest panels, they're on a hinge, so you got to bring them forward together. So essentially you got to angle them in. I don't know if you could see that motion, and they tab in, so the chest kind of comes in close like so. So once you have this, then you can bring the head slightly down and the neck's kind of there. Then you can start taking the wings out. So you're going to take this wing out this way, this wing out this way, and it's a double hinge, so just make sure that you're extending it like so. Same thing here, extend it, and then this section's here, you're just gonna turn and tab them in to here. So that extends kind of his wingspan at that point. You can straighten these little rockets things. You can, the instructions say to take them off. I personally don't take them off. I don't think you really need to, but you can if they get in the way. Next thing to do is here with the legs. You're going to take the these sections here, the front of the foot, and you're going to angle them in like so. And then you're going to take these blue sections and fold them down. Next thing to do is we're going to fold these legs over by the knee, and these sections here on the tip of the leg or the toe are going to go tabbed into here. So you're going to take this, use that double knee joint that they have, and make sure it sits in place so that you kind of tap that in. Same thing here, you're going to take this, make sure you use that double knee joint, and just tab it in. It sits in there. Next thing to do here is you could take these sections here by the wings and just angle them in, so it looks like so. So you're gonna look something like that. Then next thing is at that point you're kind of done. I guess the one thing that you could do is you could angle the wings if you want a little more here on the hinges to give them more of a more natural look. And yeah, and at that point you're kind of done. Relatively simple transformation, but what you do get is this very accurate pterodactyl, pterodon, somebody correct me, I'm pretty sure I'm saying the wrong dinosaur here, but he looks awesome in my book. Definitely looks apart. Nice length on the wingspan there. I'll show you. So that definitely looks really, really cool. And then I guess the other mode that you could do is you could take his claws and fold them forward, because then that sort of helps you with having this guy sort of standing. I've always found this mode kind of weird looking, but he can sit like that and ask a cup to tell him stories. As you guys saw here, the mouth does open, so again, fully articulated. And when you look inside, you got some sculpting work there, so that's really cool. And you got that blue there, which you can put like a flame effect here. I'm assuming that's why they added this. This one didn't come with any effects. I gotta see if I have some that I could use, but again, I'm glad that they give you that option, right? Because you could have him spit fire at Devastator. And the head in this mode, you can move it up and down. Can't really rotate, but again, no issues from my end. And this has always been sort of the transformation for this guy, and I think he looks cool. I'm glad that we finally have this guy's in beast mode. And you can take his swords, and if you wanted to like attach him to the different ports, especially on the legs here by the feet, and he could sit like somewhere like this with all the swords in place. You don't have to. I mean, I won't be doing that personally. I'll probably display this guy like so. You know, I'm gonna find him a nice flight stand, and you know, but he definitely looks apart. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. I think he looks great. I don't know, you know, nothing much else to say. The transformation is right on point. Very nostalgic feeling, very Studio Series 86 worthy in my book. Everything translates really well. Love the Autobot insignias here on the wings as well, so that's really cool. Yeah, but overall pretty stoked with this Dino mode. All right, so I want to give you guys a bit of a look in the Dino mode. I have a Swoop there on a bit of a flight stand, and I managed to steal some of the fire effects. I think those are from Omega Supreme. So you guys could see they do fit in the mouth pretty well. So he looks like he's shooting out some fire, or about to anyway. And then I grabbed Sludge down here and Shatterglass Grimlock, so you guys could see, you know, what these look like together there. But Swoop is pretty awesome there. Overall, I am very happy with this guy. Regardless of the, you know, lack of cover here on the forum, I definitely love this thing. Definitely very happy to have this and finally finish out the Dinobots, right? It's really awesome to finally have Swoop here. No issues from my end, no loose joints. I think what we get here, it's an awesome figure. You get the additional sword for Grimlock in this case, so that is pretty cool. So overall, I would highly recommend this guy. Pretty cool figure on my end. So let's do some comparisons. I got a bunch of stuff here. I guess the first one we could do is with the Power of the Primes Swoop. This was part of a combiner team of Dinobots, so just want to show there the size difference. This is the only other Swoop that I have in my collection, so obviously this is a huge step up to this, so just want to show that Power of the Primes. Next thing, let's stay small and compare him next to two more recent releases. We have Brawn and Gears here. These look really cool from Legacy. I think he is Studio Series, and then this guy came out under Legacy, if I remember correctly. So again, pretty cool. The blue on Gears is a little, I want to say, darker hue than the blue that you see on Swoop. They look very similar, but there's a slight difference in the shading there, but they look cool nonetheless. So we'll move them out of the way, and then let's do Cup. So here's Cup. This is the Studio Series. No, this is Buzzworthy Bumblebee, which has the I think a different deco than the original one. So again, size difference there. Why not throw in the Optimus Prime here so you guys can see the size difference? It's really cool. Let's move Cup out of the way. I do have another Prime here that I just had on my desk. So here he is next to animated Optimus Prime. Again, no comparison there. That's such a cool figure. But just wanted to show them off together, the different hues of red and blue on these figures, so you guys could see that. So we'll move Optimus out of the way, and then we'll move Earthrise Optimus out of the way. Let's do Kingdom. This is Kingdom Rodimus Prime there. And let's throw in a bad guy. Here's Earthrise Starscream. So pretty cool. Let's move Kingdom Rodimus out of the way. Let's move Starscream out of the way. And let's see. It had something else with some more red and blue in it. And it's also a Studio Series. So this is Ultra Magnus, Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. Magnus there is definitely much taller and definitely chunkier. But I just want to show them off just so you guys can see what it looks like together. And again, the different like blues and reds with all these figures. So Optimus is a bit of a unit there in comparison to most robots. So let's move Ultra Magnus there out of the way, put this guy back in the middle, and why not? I had an Insecticon laying around so you guys could see what he looks like next to Bombshell. So that is Bombshell. That is from Legacy, I believe. I have a hard time keeping track of all these lines and figures. And before we move on, I showed you animated Optimus, so why not? Let's throw in some Megatron. This is the Armada Megatron. You know, in case you want to see there how Swoop stacks up to Megatron. Let's move him out. And before we move on to the Dinobots, here's the last two. These are our triple changers, Decepticons. So we have Blitzwing and we have Astro Train. I honestly would have wished that these two were almost about the same size as Swoop there, but that's just the scale in my head. But I think that looks really cool nonetheless. And before we move on to the other Dinobots, I figure let me do a size comparison here to this big guy. This is the Legacy Menasor. So you guys can see what these two look like size-wise. Pretty cool there. And to wrap up here, let's start off with Slag, or Slug as he's known now. Again, relatively same size, although Swoop here is a lot slimmer, which again fits in my book. So we'll move Slag out of the way. We have Snarl here. Snarl, absolute unit there. He is taller than Swoop there, but just want to show you guys the difference. Awesome looking. So we'll move Snarl out of the way, and let's put in Sludge here. Here we go. And Sludge again, very similar to Snarl, pretty big guy. Want to say, you know, with the whole nose cone or horn here, Swoop is a little taller, but Sludge here is more substantial. But there you go, that's what they look like together. And of course, last but not least is their leader, Grimlock. So there you go, Grimlock is of course bigger, more substantial, but there you go, that's what these two look like together. Alright guys, so here we go. Of course I had to set up the final group chat, and let me tell you, they look awesome together. It's finally great to have Swoop, have Snarl, Sludge, Slag, and of course Grimlock. Now we have full set of Dinobots, and they look awesome. If I missed anything, you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment like always. But if you made it to the end of the video, this guy's definitely worth it. If you can get your hands on all these Dinobots, they're out of this world. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.